Namaskar. Spirituality is a journey where we are transcending and letting go of our small, limited self and identifying and stepping into our great self. And today I'd like to share with you a little reading that is a beautiful analogy for understanding that process and talk a little bit about what we do and what we can do in our practices to help us make that transition. So the quote is taken from a book called Light Comes, and here it is. Suppose there is a clear mirror, and before it you place a large red rose. If you look at the mirror, what do you see? A red rose. From a distance, one may say that the mirror is red, but is it actually so? The mirror is not red. It has only been apparently colored by the red rose. Just as the mirror becomes apparently colored red, the human soul is also apparently colored by virtue and vice. Whenever the unit consciousness comes in contact with any action, psychic thought wave, or mental feeling, it is apparently affected, but not actually so, just as the mirror is not actually colored red. So we all want to feel good about ourselves, and I think this little passage is very helpful in really understanding that, whatever we may have done, good or bad, however people talk about us, or however we have thought about ourselves, finally, it's all just apparent. Our soul is neither virtuous nor wicked. It is always pure and beyond that. And I think thinking about that, deeply understanding that, and remembering that, and cultivating that way of looking at oneself helps in the process of not identifying or stepping back from the limited small self, from all our history, which will certainly have a mixture of both good and bad, and will be somehow constrictive if we identify it. And just, help us remember that our spirit is always pure. And it reminds me of this little lullaby that the great Saint Madalasa, a female saint, used to sing to her children to help them cultivate this awareness of their inner purity from the time that they were small. So she used to sing to them, "You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you." We also have a practice that we do. I've talked about it many times, but when we start our meditation, we withdraw our mind from the external world. We withdraw the mind from the body, from the past, from the future, from our history, our identity, and we shrink ourselves down to this tiny, tiny point. And that helps us step away from this apparent color red or any emotion or feeling from our identity with the world and our history. And once we've done that, then we imagine that tiny point surrounded by divine love, infinite awareness, and we, identify with that, with our great self. So there it is, a very beautiful image, the red rose in front of the mirror. It seems that the mirror is red, but it's not. And the message from this passage is to remember that, and remember that whatever colors seem to be affecting you, in your essence, you are pure and never affected by that. So that little passage actually gave me inspiration, encouragement, and helped me, and I hope you also find that helpful and inspiring. Thank you. Namaskar.